But
Jimmy, what do you think you've learned the most about yourself from going out since you've, began this speaking career and out there with Mike and then out there on your own? Like, what have you learned the most about yourself, do you think?
great question.
Oh, that's a great question. What have I learned the most about myself? What I've learned most about myself is that I have a gift that started when I was 8 years old, as far as speaking. It was a gift that was given to me, and I've learned that gift multiplied with the passion that I have behind that has really helped me to be able to impact other people's lives in a way that I've never been able to do before. Even in martial arts, being able to go out there and to speak life into these kids' life, it really frees my soul and really touches my soul. And that's one of the things that I've always wondered and questioned about myself, but can I actually do this? Can I actually make an impact? Can I be an impact player in people's lives? And not just martial arts. And being able to go out there, especially when you go out there and you have to follow after Michael, right? It's like everyone's looking, they're laughing, they're having a great time, and you're going, I have to follow that act, right? And know that I don't have to be Michael, that I can be me and still have the impact in their lives has been a tremendous learning process for me.
Great. Do you ever get surprised when you're out there?
I do. I get surprised by the tears. I get surprised when I'm talking and there's a group of girls and even guys that look like they're all tough and big and bad. And I say something to them and they start crying because I know it touched their heart. I get surprised when teachers tell me, okay, I know you want to bring kids up here to talk, but these kids are not going to do that because they're not going to embarrass themselves in front of their peers. They're not going to talk about, being bullied or anything. And my surprise is when I have to turn kids away. And Michael and I have both experienced this, when we have to literally turn kids away because we have so many kids wanting to come up to share what's going on in their lives about, being bullied and how they were treated and how they think we should treat other people.
Right. Jimmy, what's your, of course, we're talking about it right now, but ultimately moving forward after COVID, what do you think your advice would be to this younger generation, just spiritually, emotionally, physically?
I would say, let me sum that up kind of in one word, because it's what's really helped me in so many ways: forgiveness.
Wow.
Forgiveness. When you're walking around with, just take me as a kid. If I walked around with all that hate and anger and bitterness and disappointment and shame and blame and all that stuff that was put on me as a kid, and I kept walking around with it, then I would be doing more damage to myself. And until we learn how to truly forgive one, it starts with forgiving ourselves. And that was one of the biggest things I had to do. I had to learn how to forgive myself and realize what's happened to me wasn't my fault. It wasn't something that I did, because a lot of times people who've been in those situations think it must be something I've done, right? And so it's like, so I have to forgive myself and release that, and then I have to forgive them, and sometimes it may take going back to that person and saying, I forgive you, without looking for anything back. I know I did that when I was age 25 with my family. I went to each one of my siblings and I said, hey, I just want to let you know, you made my life a living hell, but I forgive you. And then I sat down with my parents, because I wouldn't go over my family's house for holidays or anything. And around the holidays, I would get real depressed because I wanted to see them, but then again, I didn't want to communicate with them. I didn't want to be around them because there was so much pain and so much hurt that was still there, and the forgiveness hadn't happened yet. And I remember going to my parents and sitting down with them and say, hey, look, I just need to tell you this. I'm not expecting anything. I'm not looking for anything. I don't need anything from you. I just need to leave this here and let you know that I forgive you for everything that I've gone through in this household. And it broke them. And I'm the person that they look to. I'm the youngest, but they look to me as the oldest. When everything goes wrong in the family, I'm the one that gets the call. And so what I would say to the kids, especially, you got these kids right now that feel like cheated from their graduation or cheated from, whether it's 8th grade graduation, whether their senior graduation, cheated from being able to be around their friends. They're locked in. Unfortunately, some of these kids are locked in shelter with their abuser, and they can't get away because school was a way for them to be able to escape, like it was for me. And so you got a lot of kids that's coming out angry and bitter and sad and depressed. And it starts with forgiving. And forgiveness doesn't mean that these people get a pass. It just means that you breaking that chain where they no longer, whatever they've done no longer controls what you're going to do.
Yep.
And so that to me is really the key thing for all of us coming out of this situation.
Well, that's awesome. And that's, I think, when some healing can start to happen, huh?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us in the Barracks. To learn more about our hosts, guests, and how to support Vets Mobile Dental Unit, visit www.inthebarracks.org.